Hi everyone. Sorry we're a bit late today, but we're here now and we're very happy to be with you. Sally's just going into trance now. So if you don't know the process, ancient Egyptian, as she's known, goddess Isis comes in, and we'll call her that because there's a lot of strange clamping down going on around the key words around how most people might call goddess Isis. So we actually call her Isa. 2 words, Isa. So that's the process. Sally will go into trance and the goddess will come in to claim the temple, as she always does. And then Chung Fu will follow. So it's lovely to be with you today. We'll enjoy a bit of Q&A with you after the transmission as well. So much love.
Tintam takayaretesh ketyanamastu areteken chamanto mantarele ketekeisha isakitinyam tenyam tikatakoreta isha kaisha shomtyanam tamtameya katetare uakayutanan samtagayashike tureta keshkachanam wanyamate ketekeshkitya iseketya isa takairoya me to taketika shikanyam teke tetetiti ruate hore kaye turikaye keshkantanime suhare takecha. My beautiful children, I am here with you upon the earth. It is your time. It is time to bring your creative powers forward, my children. Time to stand up in the certainty of the knowledge of your goodness, of all you have to bring, in the certainty of your knowledge that I am one with you, the great mother, creatrix of all. My beautiful children, it is your time upon the earth. Do not pay any attention to the illusions of darkness that surround you. Understand why I am here, my beautiful children, coming forward, speaking in words that your minds may understand. I do not come always here in time and space. I do not manifest at all times, only at the times when my powers are coming forward within you. For so it is that I, who am beyond time, beyond space, my beloved, I who am the very essence of life, I am manifesting powerfully in your imagination, in your vision, in your minds, in your hearts. I am. For this is where I dwell, in the worlds beyond the physical. Only here at this time, this is your time, your life. And upon the earth, I have made my promises. And whatever you may see as you look around you, however much fear may attempt to throttle you, to hold you down, to imprison you, to keep you away from the truth, my beautiful children, pay no attention. Pay only attention to the growing of your strength, to the building of your personal power, to your understanding of your true freedom. For you are born free, my children, born free. You are created free, to walk free upon the land, to travel free, my beautiful children, surrounded by my protection of love and of light. Claim your freedom in ways of beauty and goodness and gentleness. Be kind with one another, for there are those who are dwelling in terror at this time. Nurture them. Take care of them, for their minds have been half broken through this fear, through this anxiety, and through being shamed. Innocent ones have taken much beating at this time. And so, my beautiful people, take care of the weak ones and the ones who do not understand. And know that I am here. I am Isis. I dwell within you, in your breath. I am in the very essence of your life. I am the love. I am the power of life itself. I am the light that shines in the darkest of places. I shower you with my blessings, my children. So greetings, welcome, Jerome.
Thank you.
And greetings to all who may be gathered here at this time. I am Chung. It is a delight to come forward to all who find me and who find our message at this time in your world. For many years I have been coming forward, for I am from another realm, being an ascended being. I have spent many thousands of years upon the earth, but at this time I speak from another frequency. And I come forward to you at this time to assist because, of course, all those who are not bound by space and time have known the cosmic situation for many, many eons and have been working on the inner plane to bring balance, to bring protection, to bring also uh, much light, much needed light, where there has been great darkness. Knowing what is coming, we have come forward in the last 50 years or perhaps a little longer to bring some teachings to humanity to prepare for this time, to become stronger, especially within, stronger of mind, stronger of heart, and indeed stronger of body now, most necessary as well, to sustain your strength during these very challenging times. For as you have no doubt all of you noticed, you are suffering from long-term damage. That is damage to mind, damage to the emotional body of mankind, and damage, of course, to the physical environment and your own physical well-being. And so much of that can be mitigated against by you having strong inner systems of self-protection. I think self-protection and self-development, these are two very important words in your time. What do they mean? Well, they mean that you have a system of integrity that if it is whole and well and you build it up and maintain it, you cannot be attacked or successfully invaded, I should say. You can be attacked, but not successfully invaded by negative influence, mentally, emotionally, nor physically, so easily. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be invaded at all. It means that you can detect that invasion more quickly and you can annihilate it. You can neutralize it. And that has been one of the most important teachings, is to understand that the first principle of protecting yourself is to eliminate negativity from your system. And that is the most important aspect, because it is the law of attraction. You could say that if you have a negativity settled deep in your system, of course, you're going to attract some force of negativity from outside, because that's a simple law of attraction. If you can clear your field of pre-existing fears, angers, guilt, pain, sadnesses, adhesions from before, then you have got a much better chance to build up the vibration, the frequency of light of your being that will then further protect you as things are now, as you can feel, at quite an extreme within your world. They are at a peak, we could say, in this battle against the dark and the light, which has been going on for eons. Let's be very clear about that. But you could say it's gone from being a battle within the ethers of the earth and not so much known upon the earth, as to now being really known and coming to people's attentions, people having all sorts of theories, thinking it's maybe the politics, maybe it's the, maybe they're fiddling with the weather, whether maybe there's they doing this and they doing that. And what really needs to happen is, of course, that everybody comes into their power and realize, well, whatever they are doing, let us do this. Let us create something very different. Let us take charge of our environment. Let us get together. And that is, of course, the best possible option, is to work first personally on yourself. And that is the most important of all, so that then you are attracted to and attractive to those of like mind and like vibration. Because let's face it, if a whole lot of layabouts get together, not much gets done. But if people of resolve and high purpose get together, a great deal gets done. And here you are now, all of you, in a time where, despite the so-called lockdown, this is in fact a time to prepare for action, to do things, to uh, create projects in your local area that are going to help you be strong in the event of all kinds of possible collapse that are going to happen in the next while, whether they be food shortages, whether they be financial uh, changes, whether they be power either surges or blowouts or and meltdown, shutdown, um, all kinds of possibilities at this time for different reasons, some of them more nefarious, and some of them really, you could say, of nature caused. And so, for you all at this time, it is still very much work on yourself time, and having those tools to just monitor your own state of mind, of heart, of body. Um, they're simple, really, very simply. You know, can you find your love? Can you find your enthusiasm? Can you feel your interface with life and with each other? How much do you care about your environment, about the people who are literally close by you? Sometimes, it's a bit of a stretch, I don't know. They're very different to me. I don't, and sometimes, like here, you are all over the world. You are in different places, and we have here a community of spiritual interest, but yet each of you in your own localities will want to be doing something that is creative and transformatory for yourself and in your own environments. So this is the time that you are in. And so first, tools first, and that is, your person, literally. How can you strengthen your psychology, what you believe at this time, so that it's good for you? Because actually believing in things that are negative is never good for you, and you're not designed that way. So if you got some negative beliefs, or you have got some experiences that have come from fear, confrontations with authorities that have been trying in some way to diminish your power or squash you or shut you down, all of this. Uh, the very simple thing is, well, have a look at your own psychology. How, is it affecting you? Are you feeling very pushed down by it? Has it reduced your confidence in yourself, in your ultimate freedom, the freedom of your spirit? You may be having to follow some laws that you don't want to follow. You may be doing that out of convenience, or you may be doing it quietly, but do you understand that you are fundamentally free and that you have a choice whether to follow those laws or not? And to what extent do you believe what I'm saying even now? These things matter. And so then it matters to make sure you feel safe with what you feel. Are you able to express it? Can you can you go around to your neighbor and say, well, I feel differently about this or that? Can you have conversations with people? Or do you feel rather afraid to have conversations? Monitor all of that and then work on it. In other words, if you find, well, actually, I don't really want to talk to I think they're my friend, but I'm not sure. I don't want to spoil our friendship by talking about things. All right. But really notice that you're not able to speak the truth. Notice what that does to you, and start thinking to yourself, right, well, perhaps I can't talk to them. Maybe I could talk to those people over there, and start to identify if you have friends, really, who you can make group association with. It's very important that you don't get isolated. And of course, that's a very different message than perhaps you're receiving, or people saying it's very important you do get isolated. Well, no, it's actually very unfortunate that you're getting isolated, and it does have a big psychological effect upon you. So monitoring your own state and being very loving towards yourself. Breathing a lot. Big expansive breaths. Holding your breath at the top. holding your breath at the bottom, being very aware of the tension in your body several times a day, just checking in with yourself. How am I doing? Just being very aware and very honest about how you're doing. Because if you're not reacting to all of this, there's something a little bit wrong. Because you're human and you're bound to be reacting, responding, having an effect from, being curtailed in your freedom, freedom of movement, freedom of decision making, freedom of speech. If you're not responding in some way or feeling a little curtailed by this, have another look. What happened? Did you suddenly believe that there really is a reason to be prevented from working and going out and enjoying yourself, and you really have come now to believe this is the real way? Since when did anybody deal with a virus in this way? Never in the history of humanity did it work, even if maybe 100 years ago some of these methods were used. It didn't work. You do some deeper research, you realize, no, none of that actually stopped anything from spreading. It just spread in a different way. No, that's not the reason why all this is happening. And so then you start to really do some study. And I do recommend you do some study. You don't take anything at surface value, because it's actually not just about politics. It's not just about the medical world. It's not just about the financial world. There's a bigger reason. And it is the overflow from the inner world war that has landed upon the earth and is literally now a struggle to control the earth. And that is not a conspiracy, beloved ones. That is the truth from on high. That is the truth. It has landed on the earth. It's actually over the war. In terms of essence, it's been won. However, you could say it's like the fallout from all the missiles that were in the sky, if you like, the deadly dark energies that were surrounding the earth have sort of landed and are hanging on to the earth as though, and it is in a sense true, as though there's no tomorrow. And it's true that there's no tomorrow for those entities. There's no tomorrow, because their tomorrows are in eons. So there's no tomorrow, but there are minutes left. And those minutes are your days. They are your months and weeks. But you have to understand there is no power in it anymore. Even those who are wielding the so-called power are beginning to doubt it. And you must understand that. It's got nothing to do with politics, who won whatever election in any country. You will also see, however, that it has a lot to do with politics in the sense of attempts to roll out a new type of political overarching system, a type of global system. And you need to be very wary and understand that is not normal politics. That is something that's trying to be installed before all the power leaks out of that system. When the power leaks out of that system, you have a kind of gap in time where you need to take control, where you need to come forward, create your own systems. This might mean, local systems. It might mean all kinds of things for different people. But there will be a moment where there will be another attempt, if you like, to create a system, a desperate grab for life force, which will look like money, but then it will more be your lives. And so understand, this is what will attempt to happen, but we do not believe it will succeed. Now, we being the ascended masters. So we are here, and we are, in that sense, holding a space. The humanity must be the ones who take the control, the ones that are incarnate. So we try to assist you, give you the power. The power is in the mind. The power is in your imagination. The power is in your get up and go. It is in your understanding of your supreme power as a human being, as a man, as a woman. If you use the terminology that you need to use in terms of the laws and so on of your planet. So yes, it's a very critical. It's going to be happening throughout this year. It's going to be neck and neck, and it's going to look like we could say the baddies are winning and the new system is being brought in relentlessly. But there will be so many pockets of resistance, and they will be the seed beds of the future new world, the real new earth. It's going to be very confusing. What you really have to do is stay very strong in your own reality. And as I've said many times, make your networks of support, that is of mental, emotional, spiritual support, which can be global, and intimate community groups of people that you love, of friends, getting together, creating little ecosystems to support each other. Also thinking about systems of bartering for this time. Is, as I say, it's going to be neck and neck. It's going to be that some parts of the world will get taken over by that type of global superpower mentality. There will be a struggle for quite a long time between these forces on the earth. Like I say, they have no tomorrow, but their tomorrows are eons. And so no, they don't have any more eons, but they do have the days, weeks, months, and years of your lifetime to battle it out upon the earth. But you are strong, and your strength can be improved always internally. And in that way, I always do come to mention crystals and shungite and inner work and expanding your light body, your chakras, being hygienic emotionally, knowing how to create good relationship, how to create trust amongst each other through love, through kindness and compassion. So these are really, these are the ways forward, and in every possible way, try to find allies in your area. So, beloved, today that has been what has inspired Chung Fu to bring forward to you. I will take some questions, and then we will do a meditation together. And it's fine if there are no questions. I will just carry on a little longer.
Kelly Ryan says thank you. Elsa says, hey beauties. Paleo Mountain Man says crystals, question mark. If anyone has a question, please do write in and ask a question.
So I will just answer that one, just that, crystals, question mark. The thing is, why crystals? Crystals are part of the earth. You are part of the earth. Would you ever think there's a relationship between you and the earth? Do you think you got anything to do with crystals? Have crystals got anything to do with you? It's such a different form of life. This is life. Crystals are alive. When you take a crystal out from its configuration, it remains, it has a life force in it. Crystals are used throughout technology. Crystals are electrically charged. So you are electrically charged. And so the electricity in the crystalline dimension, the electricity within the cosmos, and the electricity within your being, these are all related. When you pick up a crystal, if you can measure it. If you take a crystal in your hand, you can find instruments that can measure the piezoelectric force that if you press a crystal together, if you hold it really, really hard, you actually do have an effect on the crystal, and the crystal, its electricity moves into you. So there is an interface, an electrical interface between you and all of life. And with crystals, what it is that I can journey. I can go inside this crystal. I can morph and change and become light. And I can go through this crystal gateway into the entire land of amethyst, into vast worlds where I am given so much from the amethystine beings who dwell within the earth. I could take any other crystal and by the same token travel into that vibration through the gateway of a physical crystal that I might hold. I can also sit on the edge of the earth and I can also visualize and go in, and there may indeed be crystal in there. And by attuning to that crystal, I can go deeper into the earth. Why would I do that? Well, because you see, you are very ancient beings. Your modern form is an evolved form that is moving through evolution, and you are moving through soul evolution, all the time changing. But you have been many things since you have emanated from light into form. You have been through many different, literally biological substance. Becoming human and being, in that sense, starborn. So starborn coming in, and your soul, which has perhaps been around in the earth plane for a long time but not incarnate, now wants to become human, wants to incarnate, and star beings have assisted such a process of the formation of human beings. However, within you and within all your physical structures are all the elements: earth, air, fire, water, and ether are within you. And so what happens is, as you evolve, you begin to realize some people, they pick up a crystal and they go. They don't have to try and journey. They just do, they journey. They go off in their light body. They can move between the dimensions. They find themselves on pathways of light, moving between different locations within the universe. They know about the crystalline pathways. They already use them. So crystals are portals to another dimension. And yet here on Earth, they are portals for you because you are Earth. You have crystals within you. You are made of this physical substance. Your body goes back to this physical substance. And then there are different kinds of crystals. Soul crystals are made with all kinds, as you know. They're silica-based and so on, many different kinds. And then there are the carbon-based crystals. And Shungite is carbon-based. And those of you who have studied, you know about the fullerene molecule. It's been well publicized now. There are great healing properties in all crystals, and in Shungite, it is the fullerene molecule which acts as a grounding, protective, cleansing molecule that, it does so many things. It's something that you really need to investigate for yourself. It's going to take out free radicals. It's going to energize your system. It's going to help you download oxygen into your body. All kinds of things that are very necessary at this time with the kind of duress that human beings are under through electromagnetic technology, through all of the AI systems, everything that is happening, all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the various, letters of the alphabet after F. Yes, and so it's understanding that you are very sensitive beings and you have so much potential. That is my interest as well. So Shungite, again, Jerome is doing a Shungite course to help you to work with Shungite, because it's all very well knowing that here's some Shungite, but what do you do with it? How do you journey with it? How do you go deep? And how do you protect yourself with it? These are important considerations. How are you going to gain greater health with the use of shungite? And that is something very, very important at this time. Of course, many other crystals.
So we've got a question here. Cara says hello. Hey Cara. Janet says hey.
Greetings.
Thank you, Chung Fu.
Greetings.
Elsa asks, could you offer us a meditation for cultivating community and unity on the etheric plane?
That is a very good idea, beloved Elsie, and I will do that at the end. Thank you.
Cheryl Wookie asks, is there a method to verify there are no negative implants or seeds that are in our unconscious aspects that are unconscious attractors? Thank you.
That's a very interesting question. Thank you, dear one. Well, are there any ways? It's very simple, really. You know, because you feel disturbed. You feel that's not right. That's not me. I don't recognize that part of my mind. I don't normally think like that. For example, if some of the man-made viruses at this time, they literally have a type of trigger that triggers a type of mentality, and you can recognize it in the makeup of certain types of, for example, influenza viruses. Some of them are fiddled with, and you have a lot of actually manipulated influenza viruses in your stream at the moment. They're calling them all sorts of names, but I assure you they are manipulated with a type of it is AI technology, but luckily this one can't enter into you, but it enters into the atmosphere. And if you have anything within you that's, if you're exhausted or you're depleted or in any way your immune system's down, it will cause certain emotional type of reactions in you, like feeling exhausted, feeling worn out, feeling you can't manage, feeling it's the I can't. It's the I can't vibration. It is the depletive, depressive, down pushing type of energy. And that is really, that is what you're up against. That's the worst in a way, because once the mind goes down, of course, the willpower goes down, and your ability to pick your health up after an encounter with ill health becomes a problem. So understand that for yourself. That is why I have so insisted throughout this time on helping you to breathe in and lift up all the time. Lift up, because you're being pushed down. So lift back up, push down, lift back up. No one is stronger than you. If you decide that you're not getting pushed down, however much you have to follow this or that regulation, because you don't want to be confrontative and so on. I understand. However, don't let it get into you, and don't let yourself believe that these ways are actually beneficial to you. And so how do you recognize it? Well, literally, because you know yourself and you think to yourself, this is not right. This is something interfering with my normal, positive type of mindset. What do you do at that point? Once you realize that, you've won half the battle, because it is the unconsciousness. It is you slowly slipping down and becoming a negative transmitter that is the killer. Because when you actually become, you believe, oh, I'm not going to survive. It's all hopeless. Oh no, they're just too strong. Oh, and as you go down that slippery slope, you're constantly leaking your life force. And that's what's being consumed, is your life force. When it leaks through your own inability to hold faith. And there's the word, faith, is that you have to build up your faith. And no, I can't really help you do that. I can just tell you it, because that is your spiritual work. That is your internal work, that every day You have to build up your faith again. You have to build up your love again. Because, well, each day, as you all know, it's very demanding at the moment. You probably fall into bed exhausted just from keeping yourself up. But that's a great achievement. Don't ever underestimate that achievement. Whether you're in a family or a community, you are precious if you can keep your energy up. And sometimes it just happens. You have a day and you just let it all go, and you just, everything leaks out and you just drain. Everything feels like it's draining away. And well, don't let that happen too much. It can happen now and then. And you find yourself maybe very emotional, really needing to discharge a lot of emotion. That's all right. It's a bit like you go to the toilet. You go to the toilet and you flush the chain. It has to happen. But you're not sitting on the toilet 24/7, because then you're very ill. And so it's really understanding the balance, and that you do need to discharge. But that when you're discharging, you're conscious. I'm discharging. This is not who I am. This is me letting go of who I'm not. I'm letting go of all this pain, all this negative thinking. I'm letting go of this fear. I'm clearing out. And then I'm going to maybe go for a short walk. I'm going to breathe in. I'm conscious. I'm conscious. I'm present. I'm monitoring myself. I'm not just letting myself go to the dogs. Because that's happening, beloveds, everywhere. Letting go. People just throwing up, letting go, just saying, that's it, I'm done, I can't, I'm busted, I'm bankrupt, I'm giving up. No, don't ever give up. Do not give up. Get together with others. Get some help. Build yourself back up again. Remember, Goddess is on your side. Don't ever give up. Peace.
Peace.
I can go on forever, but peace.
Julie Andrews says, much love, blessings and peace. Robert Grant. Rachel Diet here, love and gratitude to you, Chung Fu, and beloved family. Caraculito, I'm not sure who that is, but hey there. I love you, Chung Fu. Oh boy, that's me discharging all emotions nowadays.
Good. Well, you discharge them, beloved. Just remember, don't discharge yourself. Don't go down the pan with those emotions. Hold on. Keep strong. Remember, another day is coming, and another day, and every day it is time for the new earth to be created within your hearts and minds right now, but it's coming forward. And remember, if you have any chance at all to get out on the land, to talk to Mother Earth, to sit on Mother Earth, to remember you are of the earth, to remember that is your divine right, that this earth belongs to you, whoever may have written dollar bills or checks out and put their mark on the land. Wherever you can, find the wild land and be there and know it belongs to you, because that is the greatest healer of all, for you to remember who you truly are. You are a beautiful soul alive on the land. Peace.
Peace. There's no other questions coming in.
No, because they're all enlightened here, beloved. Yes. So, I would like to say this, and I'm going to say it probably quite a few times now. And there are those of you here who have heard me say it before, but it is important. I have asked the vehicle, this beautiful lady and Jerome and their whole family, to study aspects of the common law. The reason for this is that, well, there are many reasons, but the most important reason is to protect yourselves. To protect yourselves, each and every one, from anybody taking from you anything at all that is of your in that sense, sovereignty, of your freedom, of your simple rights as a man and a woman who dwell here on the earth. And it's important to know your rights. So even if you just do a little study on the side, I do recommend that you study what are in fact your inalienable rights, and that you study some simple methods by which to protect your inalienable rights, because that is one of the things that is happening that is very shocking, whether that's on your streets, uh, police stopping, simple little expressions, little gatherings in your local towns, little places where you want to meet and talk about things, and you get curtailed. There are ways that you can understand how to express yourself so that you can uh, have small gatherings, only you have to put everybody on notice and so on. So you have to learn a little bit the rules of that type of activity. But there are rules, there are laws, and as long as you follow them, as long as you know them, you can be more creative than perhaps some of you are being at this time, with how to gather a little, how to create some. This is really what it's about, the community type of activities, which once they have been properly notified, can then exist and carry on. So I do recommend that. Peace.
Peace.
And if there are no more questions, and I'm glad, because that must mean you're all coping very well. Well done to all of you.
Paleo Mountain Man says portals, ?
Portals. That's right. Portals. Is he the crystals ? Man too?
He actually is. He's the Paleo Mountain Man on YouTube.
Yes.
So do go and check his channel out. He's got a beautiful channel on YouTube, and he actually is talking about his experience with crystals, and he goes around the land. They're really nice videos. I really recommend going to check out his channel. And he talks about his findings with old crystals and beautiful rocks and things like this. So do go and check out Paleo Mountain Man. But yeah, I think he's really interested in portals and the crystals.
So do you do meditation, Paleo Mountain Man? Because if you do, then you just need to slightly adapt your meditations to be able to do astral travel. So astral travel is a method by which you come out in your light body onto the crystalline grid, into the inner light world, and you start to move around on what will appear to you like great conglomerate highways of many colors and beautiful design. And these are the portal. The crystals are the portals through which, once you get to know your crystal, once you have understood, and it sounds as if you do, that you can go through and move in your astral body. So that's your body of light, and you can move your astral body around through your mental will, and you can see through your third eye where you are going. And that is obviously going to take a little bit of development, but perhaps you have developed that already. And you will find you will come to other portals, and they will be represented, or you could say the portals might appear to you as a crystal mountain or a crystal door, or maybe a crystal that you actually have and that you know. And so you go through those portals, and they lead to all kinds of places within the cosmos. Peace.
We have a question here. It's Anna Joy. She asks, I was going to ask about trauma in the physical body today, like in response to the teachings of Chung Fu. It feels like I've swallowed giant magnets. I think she's talking about what's happening within. Body moves on its own very violently. That's all I have.
Peace, Anna Joy. And thank you for your question. And so you're experiencing this feeling as though almost you're attracting. If you're saying you feel like you've swallowed magnets, almost as though you're attracting something from a place within you, you're attracting even more of it. And that is a truth in a sense. While you discharge it, it almost feels like you become it, and everything around you, all you ever see anywhere is trauma, 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 because you are expressing so much of it, and it's you living in that world. I understand. Try to remember you're not. That is, you're moving through that world, and it is very traumatic. Literally, it's a world of trauma, and it is everywhere. And there is trauma everywhere. It's actually a truth. But you are not the trauma. You are the living spirit. You are free. And this is so important to literally hang on to, almost as though that's your lifeboat, that's your life jacket as you move through a world of trauma. And so breathing is very, very important. Of course, you know that. And remembering, consciousness, remaining aware, not becoming almost in a trance of trauma, or in a kind of stupor or a coma of trauma, where you just can't take any more. You're just sobbing. You just can't take any more, so that you actually lose sight of who you truly are. That you are not the trauma. You are she who has been traumatized. And so these lumps of experience, they're very hard to get through, because you never had any support, probably. Because trauma is usually when you're feeling extremely abandoned, alone, and terrified, and that's the hardest place for the human being to bring their strength, is the place where they never had any.
She says how to transmute the trauma and get it to move, release attachment to the story. The pain gets radical, and it is easy to get scared and believe that the nervous system is just too traumatized to ever be normal again.
Yes, yes, I understand you, one, and that is exactly what I'm alluding to when I say, take big breaths, make space inside you, you see, because unless you've got those breaths and those moments of expansion, when your nervous system can feel a moment of relief there with the breath, you don't stand a chance, because you cannot discharge trauma permanently all the time. You have to take a break. You have to create some space. You have to be able to relax and rest in between the discharge. So if the discharge becomes permanent, then you're in spasm. Now you're in a cycle where you're recreating trauma. And I think that's what you're really talking about. So it controlled release, gentleness to your person, taking hot baths if that's what relaxes you, having hot water bottles, and gently massaging your own body anywhere where you can reach yourself, to just take care, to hug your own being, to massage your legs, so that anything that wants to leave from the lower centers can more easily pass down the channels of the meridians and out. Remember, you are an entire energy system. Energy is never supposed to get stuck in you. It's always passing through. You are electrical. Constantly energy is moving through you. You are an energy system, and you're also connected. And remember this, very important, that you're never disconnected from the worldwide web of electrical energy system. It's not because of the internet. You yourself are connected to the most incredible resource of power, of electricity, of solar energy. You are solar energy. So it's all about making sure, you see, that you're hooked back up to that. So the meditation, the affirmation, the calling in, the commanding forth, the strong statement, the willpower. I am the living spirit within. I am one with the cosmic central sun. I am the living incarnation of my higher self. I am the light incarnate. All these statements help you to build up a mental strength, which then helps you to build up an emotional strength, which then gives you the resilience to deal with the physical trauma. Because physical trauma that's trying to release is obviously the hardest stage, you know, that you discover through your consciousness, and by growing your consciousness and becoming strong enough, that you have some hidden trauma. That trauma that is there is from long ago. It has, if it's become physical, you know it's from long ago. It's the hardest trauma to move, and it is the scariest trauma to move. But trauma, in that sense, when it's embedded in the body, uh, that's what you call real childhood or past life trauma. You either arrived with it, or it happened during the years when you did not understand it was downloading into your body, that somehow you were absorbing all this fear from all around you. You didn't know that it became part of the building blocks of your being, and now at a more mature age, it's all getting triggered off, and it's controlling you from inside. So of course you need to know how to discharge it. So that's the message, very simply: on off, on off. You don't do trauma release 24/7. You do it, I think 1 hour is really quite enough. 1 hour, and then several hours where you're calming yourself down. You're taking gentle herbal teas. You're having a massage. You're having some sweet music. You're having sound therapy. You are calming your nervous system down, right the way down. You're breathing yourself back down into a gentle solace, into a comfort zone. You really are taking care of your nervous system. I would say that one trauma release or two like that a day is quite enough, because it does re-traumatize when you activate the nervous system, and it's discharging all that pain, and you're sobbing and crying and remembering, hopefully remembering, understanding, and then communicating with that part of yourself. It's exhausting, and you've done well.
So after you've released the trauma, it's good to do the commanding principle to rebuild, in
your
a sense,
strength. That's right.
those base kind of like the bottom of a house.
That's right. You reiterate all the truths that you know about being one with God, Goddess, about being an incarnation of the divine light, about being strong and present and protected. All these statements, you see, you have to remember you're a living system, a living command system. They go along all the cells, and all the little cells stand up again. You know, yes, it's very important to reiterate.
Could you talk to us, just to finish off that, because you mentioned, well, I've been working with the principle that you've taught me, the commanding, but could you just mention about the Old English meaning of commanding, in the sense that you're using it?
Well, you see, the thing about command, which since a lot of enslavement has happened to the human race, command belongs to the supreme ruler. The supreme ruler of their being commands the environment of their being, because they are king, queen of that environment. So of course they command. They have that simple instinct to command everything into being. They don't say, please, do you mind? I just like a little bit of, no, I want it all, and I'm commanding it to come to me, because I'm in command of this. It's only a tiny area, but it's mine. I'm commanding. This is very important, because no other vibration really is attractive to the universal manifesting forces. They need to, in order to bring you what you desire, they have to hear that command. And so, yes, it's good to desire. Yes, it's good to be humble inside, but that doesn't stop you standing up and commanding. What it is you're bringing yourself. Is a with. It's a with word. That's what it means. My mandate, my decision is with God's. I'm commanding. I'm with God, commanding this into being. Doesn't mean that you're ordering God around. God is in you, and in the universe, and in all that is. And with God, you are manifesting your command, your desire, your will. Peace.
Um, Back to common law, Cariculito says, for Canada, if you're living in Canada, please look up constitutional lawyer Rocco Galati. That's ROCCO GALATI. He gives so much good info.
Good.
And yeah, I'll pop that in the description of this video.
Thank you.
Of course.
And
Yeah,
that's
it will be different for
it
each
is,
place.
that's quite right. It's very particular for each land, but the law of the land does exist everywhere, even if it is entirely covered by communism. It's there somewhere underneath, and it's just good to know about it and to inform yourself.
But also to seek specifically, like constitutional law is slightly different. It's great to know that stuff, but also good to seek out common law, natural law experts in the land. I know that you're really up against it in Canada there at the moment. Well, pretty much equally as we are here. It seems to be getting quite serious everywhere. So it really is about mastering common law now. Obscure Famous asks, and this will be our last question, can you speak of the seasons and their effect on our internal cycle, i.e. a time to reap and a time to sow? Thank you.
Well, absolutely, beloved, indeed. And you are coming back, depending where you are yourself. But in most lands, well, actually in the south as well as the north, but you are coming to a time to sow. And yes, that's right. It does apply throughout wherever you are, and according to the seasons, those cycles do apply not just physically, obviously, with growing of seed and vegetables and flowers and everything you wish to plant and grow and harvest, which you will harvest later in the autumn, perhaps if you are planting in the spring. But also it applies on the inner plane to your inner work. So as you sow seeds of consciousness now, and as you make decisions in your own being as to how you are going to be developing yourselves, growing yourselves, you can notice always, you can look back and say, oh yes, I did actually plant that concept, that idea at the seasonal springtime, as it were. And oh, look, it's kind of the autumn, and look, it's coming to fruition. There is a flowering from that intention. So yes, it does apply through in that sense. And you can fertilize seeds, obviously physically, but also you can fertilize your ideas with all kinds of, as it were, compost of enriching efforts that you make throughout the year to feed and nurture your idea babies just as much and strongly as your plants and beings of the earth. And of course, the power of ritual in that regard, the power of intention. So you see, for example, I mean, there are many of you who do all sorts of wonderful magic, Steiner methods and so on, biodynamic gardening, who know many extraordinary tricks, skills, and magic, and that can be applied indeed to further empower seeds when they go into the ground. A very simple one, for example, is to put a little spittle on the seed, your personal spittle, and then, you know, what happens is that information from your ecosystem informs the seed, which then grows a particular way that nourishes especially you. So seeds, plants, they can form a very personal bond with you. Those of you who have done that kind of gardening and biodynamic and permaculture and all the kinds of gardening that honor the living consciousness of the earth and plants and all that makes up the earth ecosystem, you will know about that. It's a very exciting area of study, and the more you know it, the more remarkable your crops will be. Peace.
Peace. Well, thank you for your questions today. Thanks for coming in to be with us.
And we're going to make, Elsa wanted a little meditation about creating community. Have we got time for that?
Please. Yeah, please do.
So this is a subject very dear to my heart, dear ones. And I think more and more as all of you wonderful people start to realize what is important, you may well get drawn to create community, to understand each other better, because community, what does it mean? Coming together in unity, creating comradeship, friendship that is to do with life, that is to do with systems of supporting each other. That's really what community is about. You have various reasons why you want to create community, and I'm not going to make this meditation specific for one or more, but we'll just have a little meditation together. Breathing deep and feeling that you are indeed connected to the earth. Even if you're at the top of the tallest high-rise flat, you're in fact connected to the earth. Everything comes from the earth. All of the furniture around you was made from trees that grew once in the earth. The metal that makes what is in your home came from inside the earth. So you are indeed on the earth, wherever you are, part of the earth. So that's the first thing to understand about the sameness of all human beings. You're made of the same substance. As you breathe, I'd like you to imagine 8 or so people that you would love to maybe have a closer relationship with. It doesn't matter if they're over on another side of the world right now, because we're going to create this as, in a sense, etheric community, and each one can then repeat this process, of course, with physical communities. But just imagine right now, for all of you here, 8 people that you have special friendships with, and they can be all over the world. And in your mind's eye, you're sitting in a beautiful little circle. Maybe you're outside. Choose whether you want to be outside or inside. If you're outside, you can build a big fire and you can gather around the fire. It can be very romantic and can be a beautiful place. It can be dusk and the birds can be singing as they go to bed. The owls can be just coming out the night, the bats and the night birds. And if you're indoors, well, it can be very cozy. You can have a candle in the center. Whichever it is, just feel the love. And feel the love that joins you together with your group, almost like a ribbon of light that's going around the circle, joining heart to heart, and across the circle to each other, making a beautiful lattice of golden beams of light. And this is important to always build, so that every person has a connection to 8, but it would be 7 if there was 8 of you, or however many there are, that every person has a ribbon of gold going from their heart to every heart and back. And you're both breathing out along that golden ribbon, and you're breathing their love back in. And that's important. You consciously receiving the love and sending it out one to another, creating this beautiful, shining, golden lattice grid of light and love. Feeling how it makes you smile to create that grid of love, grid of golden light. And even if right now those other people you've chosen don't even know about it, it doesn't matter. And somewhere in their souls, they will feel it. And maybe later you'd like to go and share this with them and do it as a meditation, a simple connective meditation, creating harmonious, loving connection. And now as you imagine sitting there, imagine that along those pathways that are getting stronger and stronger, those pathways of light, information is starting to just gently roll out, love information, ideas. And you see that people are gently talking and they're getting quite inspired by each other. Ideas of things that they can do to help each other, to create more love, to create more resource, to create more kindness, more compassion. And it's all flowing down these, it's almost like traffic is now passing down those beautiful golden pathways of light. It's becoming very activated. And you can see that nourishment is going into each heart and going into the minds, like from the heart, streamers of golden light are going up into the mind and causing the minds to be very creative and imaginative. And you see how those energies of golden light are going out into projects in the minds of those sitting there in your little circle. Projects are being born. Things are starting to be born in the minds of people. And feel how inside yourself you have a wealth of ideas. In fact, you just can't wait really to do something practical. Feel what your idea is. And then in this little visualization today, we're going to just imagine that now everybody embraces and goes home, and this little meeting is over, and in their own worlds, they're still attached by these golden ribbons. Everybody's, that connection doesn't break, but in everybody's little world and little life, they're doing these simple actions. Things are changing, things are happening, and then everybody comes back to sit for another session and talks excitedly about everything that they have done in between. And everything is very different, like the earth, when all of the when the plants start to grow and little green shoots start to happen, and it's just very, very exciting. Everyone is very excited about everything because seeds have been planted in the earth. When it's plants, it's in the earth. When it's ideas and actions, it's in the real world of activity, of different projects, and everybody is reporting the planting of their ideas. And then stillness comes again on the group once everybody has absorbed everything with great excitement, and everybody is asked to nurture all the projects that have been brought in. And we realize, yes, that's right, we're gardeners. We're gardeners, and we're planting seeds, and we're nurturing ideas, projects, enthusiasms, co-creations, and we're watering the seeds with our hearts of love, of emotional generosity towards each other's projects. People are making arrangements to go and help each other. And you realize, yes, it's all doable. Gently, gently, there's so much that we can create together. And so once again, after that meeting, everybody embraces, nourished again, and having nourished each other's projects and congratulated each other and recognized each other's achievements. And you both, all of you, realize that this can go on and on from week to week, but that what is feeding it are the golden hearts connected to divine source and bringing love, recognition, and honoring one to another for the wonderful capacity of human creativity, collaboration, and cooperation. And so, dear ones, today, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for all your work and for keeping your energies high. And we will continue to work together to create new systems gradually, nothing in a rush, but with resolve and determination to create a society that is built upon love, cooperation, compassion, kindness, upon the laws of thriving and abundance, positivity, and deep understanding, which is beyond the mind, but deeply embedded in the natural consciousness of the soul. Blessings and peace.
Blessings and peace. Thank you, Chung Fu.
Peace, beloved.
And we will see you all very soon. I know many of you have already joined the Students of Chung Fu group on Facebook, but if you haven't and you would like to, then go and find us on Facebook on our page, Chung Fu Channeling, and we look forward to hanging out with you and building community in there. We may come off Facebook in the near future, we'll see, but for now we're growing the group and we look forward to hanging out with you all soon. Great love.
Great love to you, and
Blessings and peace.
blessings and peace.